Welcome back to the Golden Trail World Series for a doubleheader, Sierre-Zinal in the Swiss Alps and the Tatra Skymarathon in the Carpathian Mountains of Poland. The Golden Trail Series consists of 8 stage races and a final, each testing the world's best trail runners across different terrains, distances, elevation and conditions to crown an overall world champion. At the Kobe Trail in Japan, Switzerland's Maud Mathis and Kenya's Patrick Kipngeno both came from behind to claim victory. At China's Four Sisters Mountain Trail, Patrick made it 2 from 2, with compatriot Joyce Najiru seizing the lead on the first climb and never looked like being caught. At the Zagama Ascori Marathon in the Basque region of Spain, Kilian Jornet showed why he's 10 times winner, leading from start to finish, with Norway's Sylvia Nordskar claiming her first victory, combining some strong climbing with fluid descending. And at the Mont Blanc Marathon, both El Hussein El Azoui and Judith Wieder broke free on the final descent to claim victory in France. But you join us today in the southwest of Switzerland, in the Alps of Sierre.
Well, Sierre-Zinal is the race that started really the big movement of mountain running and trail running. All the best athletes of each generation has been racing here, so it's kind of the race that built a big part of this sport.
I start to feel how I changed my life after last year, because from this race was start a new life. Here I'm 27 and then I start to compete in Golden Series.
To win it, you have to run under 2 hours 27. If you see the results of the past, guys were winning it in 2 hours 35. So now it's like 10 minutes less than 12 years ago.
Very, very proud to see that running with international runners, top runners, strong runners.
Remy, Patrick, myself and probably some others, we are at a level to go under record time. But then if it's very, very warm and we start too fast, it can be some explosions, and there is where the race will be decided.
It's really hard to keep pushing through if I'm not performing well for the overall in mind. But right now it's like a lot is riding on this race in Poland. If I do well, then I go to the US, and if not, maybe I have to give up the overall.
Today's course immediately starts climbing, entering the woods on single-track trails. Serious climbing done by Chandelin allows the speedsters to take charge before descending from Hotel Weisshorn into our finish in Zinal. The 1400 meters ascent to Chandelin feels endless, and on the shallower trails, it's easy to forget there's still 800 meters of climbing and the midday sun to contend with. It's then an 800 meter drop to our finish, but if you've pushed too hard across the top, you're likely to be caught in that final 10K. Our athletes to watch. 9 times winner, Spain's Kilian Jornet returns in peak fitness. Can he break his own record? Winner of last year's final, Romania's Madalina Faria, led last year for 20K, but this year it's even hotter. Has her fueling improved? Remy Bonnet, he's won everything except Sierre-Zinal, his home race. He'll need to build an early lead on the long climb to hold off the second half attacks. American Sophia Lauchley, last year's series champion and Sierre-Zinal winner. She's the best climber if she's overcome her early season injuries. Second last year, Kenyan Patrick Kipngeno has already won twice this season, and as the uphill world champion is likely to attack first. Can he create a winning lead? Scottish mountain runner Scout Adkin hasn't run here before, but she's a powerful climber, coming second in the Euro uphill champs. Does she have the legs for 31K? Last year's winner, Kenyan Philemon Kariego. He'll let the climbers go, but will need to recapture last year's form to catch them again. Second last year, Kenyan Joyce Najiru will be hoping she can continue her winning form from the Four Sisters Mountain Trail.
Good morning. What's up?
These are my champagne shoes from last year, so.
Oh, great.
One at the top and 2 at the bottom.
The start was as hot as the 26-degree heat, with our favourites grouping together before Kylian Jornet started to attack the climb, breaking away.
I wanted to start fast, like 90% in the uphill to keep a bit from the heat, but keep it fast so it can be some explosions behind.
The chasing pack of Remy Bonnet, Patrick Kipangeno and Filimon Carriego were joined by their run-together teammate, Josfat Kiprotich.
It was difficult to me, but I give up myself that I'm a Kenyan. I maintained my pace.
The combined start provided camouflage, allowing debutants Kenyan Joylene Chipangino and Scotland's Scout Adkin to take to the front.
I saw Philaris and Joyce in front of me, so I say I can follow them. And they were very slow, and then I go with the men's.
Being such a busy sort of chaotic start, it was slightly hard to tell where I even was position-wise.
Joyce Njiru and Madalena Faria not far behind, the congestion making it hard to overtake. Seven kilometres and 1,300 metres of climbing later at Ponchette, the heat was keeping Kylian 30 seconds above the course record. But Josfat had bridged the gap and was now only trailing Kylian by 7 seconds. Remy and Patrick now a minute behind.
The Kenyan from Run Together, he was attacking very fast and I was thinking, okay, no, that's not smart to follow, he's going too fast, he will probably explode. So I tried to keep a bit of distance and I felt like very controlled.
As the climb shallowed, Josfat deployed his 2:09 marathon pace to create a 30-second lead by Chandilin, 12 kilometres in. At Ponchette, Joylene had a 50-second lead over Scout, who had a similar lead over Joyce and Madalena, both working together on the climb. As the trail opened up, Joylene deployed her flat speed, extending her lead.
I have to maintain because nobody is following me.
Joyce then went for broke, passing Scout.
I thought maybe that was it at that flat part. Probably a load of other women might start coming past me, but I knew with a bit more climbing I could catch her again.
The race was turning up the heat and the athletes struggling to stay cool. Josfat was starting to regret his early pace and was caught by Kylian as they neared the peak at 20 kilometres passing Hotel Weisshorn.
When I passed him, I was like pretty confident for the victory, but then when I left the aid station, I started to feel some cramps in my calves and I was like, oh, that's going to be very, very long to the finish.
Josfat was fading, first passed by Patrick, but it was last year's winner Filimon who was the main threat, now only 30 seconds behind Kylian and closing. By Weisshorn, Joylene had increased her lead to 4 minutes, but did she have the downhill technique to close out the race? With Joyce now a distant memory, Scout was comfortable in second, flowing through, unaware that Madalena was now up to third place.
It's amazing, was wake me up for a few moments.
As the trail dropped, Filimon amazingly caught a startled Kylian, king of the downhill, with less than 2 kilometers to go.
I was not expecting him to win because I was there.
He briefly overtook and extended, but a short technical section allowed Kylian to attack back.
And it was like, oh, it's not going to happen. But then it was like, nah, come on, all or nothing.
As he entered the town, the cheers of the crowd covered the footsteps of a charging Filimon, and Kylian was pushed all the way to the line, winning in 2:25.34, breaking his own course record by just 1 second, only 4 seconds ahead of Filimon. both incredible times given the heat. Patrick Kipangeno wasn't far behind in 2:26.59, followed by the impressive debut of Josvat Kiprotich in 4th and 5th place Roberto De Lorenzi. In the women's, even the technical ground couldn't slow down Joylene, and she stormed through the finish in 2:54.06.
If I was knowing the course record was 2:48, I will be using the watch.
Astonishing given that this was her first ever trail race, having lost 30 kilograms in weight over the past 2 years to return to running. Scout comfortably held on for second, her first ever Golden Trail finish in a time of 3:02.21. With Madalena Faria in third, Kenyan Philaris Kisang, and Romania's Cristina Simeon rounding off our top 5. Still to come, the Tatra Skymarathon, where all hell breaks loose. See you soon. We're back with the Golden Trail Series. Our athletes have just raced Sierre-Zinal and are now on a road trip taking in some sights on their way to the Tatra Skymarathon. Road trip complete. It's time for business.
So first, welcome in Poland. For me, it's a big moment because we are waiting 7 years to have a race in Golden Trail World Series in Poland.
I'm excited. I'm excited to see what happens. I think that there are a lot of people who could win this race.
5 days before Tatra, I twisted my ankle. If you run in the downhill, technical, yeah, you have pain. I give my best for podium.
I would say Sierre-Zinal is the favorite. With the races that he did until now, I would say he's the favorite. If it's not feeling so well, so I'm the favorite for the race.
I think if they go in a group at the beginning, someone will go too fast because they aren't equally fast, all of them. So it's a really good race to blow up.
I did the loop 2 times, and this race downhill is very difficult. I will push myself on the flat part.
I'm happy because this year the Golden Trail come in Poland. For me and Bart, it's the important race. I think it's gonna be amazing race with people who will be cheering.
Tatra Trail winds its way through the valley through an exceptionally fast 11k of near-flat running before cutting up the mount with some awkward sized steps, following the ridge to the sharp climb to our peak. A downhill of shale, roots and rock follows, finishing with a 6k sprint. It's likely the flat trail will tempt some runners to start too quickly, but the sharp 1400 metre climb and descent, which includes a brutal 600 metre drop in only 2k, will be punishing. Local boy Bart Prodziewski nearly pipped Elhassan and Zagama. His intimate course knowledge and the crowd could make the difference in this rematch. Romania's Madalina Faria is yet to deliver the form she showed to win last year's final, but the shorter race should suit her. Euro Trail champ Switzerland's Roberto De Lorenzi's best ever result was taking second at the Dolomites last year. Add in the wet and this looks like a course designed for him to star. Technical specialist Spain's Malinosa should be able to adapt quickly to this new course. It's her preferred distance, and if it's wet, she could be our favourite. Mont Blanc winner Moroccan Elhassan Olazoui has the perfect blend of speed and skill. Hot off her win at Sierre-Zinal, Kenyan Joylene Chepangeno has her first test of her technical trail skills. Will her second ever race in 7 days be too much with limited recovery? Polish Marcin Kubica has been consistent all year. Can a home race be the advantage he needs to find his first ever podium? As the women neared the start, the rain arrived, changing race strategies with every drop. As expected, Joylene was retelling the story of Sierre-Zinal, leading out with compatriot Filaris Kipsang. The shorter distance race allowed athletes including Madalina Faria, Naomi Lang and Arne Gibson to commit earlier, and the chasing pack was never too far behind. A change in winds moved the storm directly over the course, and the National Park Rescue Team called for the race to be cancelled for safety reasons.
We hoped it will work out, but storm came much earlier than we thought.
It was like the hardest downpour I've ever seen a few minutes before that, so it was like pretty insane conditions to be running in.
The decision has been taken by the rescue team of the national park to stop any people to go in the mountain and to ask all the people in the mountain to go down.
About 20 minutes after the women, we decided that we have to stop the men's race and have a safe place for the women to pause.
The women discovered the news at the 11k aid station and escaped the elements in a local shelter, a mix of disappointment and relief.
It was super weird to stop in the middle of the course.
I was not expecting this. When was stop me say, stop, we need to stop. I say, wow, what I was doing? You want to disqualify me?
Probably will be another storm in a few hours, so around 10 will be the decision if race will be cancelled today.
Right now we are doing the decision that the women are going down the valley and it's over. We can wait until the 12th, but the storm is coming. I think it will be both cancelled.
It's okay, but I think it's pity.
Today Poland gave me the best gift ever. Yes.
Why?
I think I'm the only one what is very happy because we stopped the race.
Maybe I'll go to America now.
Precious moments in the hut.
Iconic. Iconic.
Yeah. Last one.
I mean, honestly, what was more memorable, finishing the race or sitting in the hut with itchy wool blankets?
a road race. Yeah. We missed the cool part. It was lightning at the start, so it sucks, but it's the right decision. I'd rather not be zapped by lightning on top of a mountain, so it is what it is.
I knew that we make a good decision. We started the race, so we tried, but at the last reasonable moment, where athletes were still in safe part of the trail where they could hide in the hut, we had to call it off.
The race cancellation meant that many of the athletes could no longer achieve the 4 finishes required to qualify for our final.
With this race cancelled here in Poland, we took the decision to have the 3 best results out of 7, plus the final for the overall ranking. Now, some athletes want to come back. In the USA, everyone wants to say, okay, it's the 3 best results, I can still do it. And the level will be totally crazy. I think it will be like the final.
The changes in the rules have completely upended our leaderboard. Let's see what it's done to our top 10. With 2 victories and a 3rd place, Patrick Ibigeno now leads our men's field. Roberto De Lorenzi climbing 1 place to 3rd, with Kylian Jornet and Alex Garcia both joining our top 10. The big casualty of the rule changes in the women's is Lara Rosa, dropping from 1st to 7th, with Maud Mathis returning to the top. Having now finished 3 races, Joyce Najiru jumps to 3rd, both Caitlin Fielder and Madeline Faria entering the top 10. Next up, Golden Trail is heading stateside for the flowing trails of the Headlands 27k and the Mammoth Lakes 26k. It's their last opportunity to qualify for our final, so all the big names are set to feature, along with a few new ones, looking to upset the odds. See you there.